Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. So now we have entered invoices into QuickBooks, but the guys aren't making any money. So what do we do now? In today's video, we're going to continue our journey, and then we're going to show how we can connect our job expenses to our customers, our jobs, our projects. I've did an uplift on our project, so I can demonstrate that to you also, so that these things will start becoming more familiar to you, because your roofer is going to come back to you and say, what were my job profits? How much did I make on that job? You know, that job didn't feel like it went so well. What are those job profits? Am I at the 50% mark? Am I at the 30% mark? And so these are the pains that the roofing companies have. And you, as a bookkeeper, want to solve these problems for them. You want to be one step ahead of them in their work, so you know exactly what the next question is that they're going to ask. And this is super helpful customer service, because our business really, it depends on how well we can serve the clients that we have, and we do an awesome job with that. But before I get started in this training video, I just want to remind you of those free resources. Of course, you can book a call with me and we can go over your new bookkeeping business or existing bookkeeping business and where to go from there. We have our free bookkeeper roofing group on Skool. And so I have in there YouTube videos. I have in there first module of my actual training course. And then you can meet other bookkeepers and get in touch, and we can have very good conversations. And then I go in there every Thursday to answer your questions or do a training on something, anything that someone is having an issue with, because probably if you didn't understand that, somebody else didn't understand it as well. And so I am here to help you understand how bookkeeping works and how the roofing and construction field industry works. I have the QuickBooks Online, so you can go ahead and sign up your first client and start getting that set up. Here we are. First, what I want to show you, if we click on the left, accounting, and I'm going to compact that accounting, and let's go to projects. We can click on projects, and we'll see some projects that we have here that we've been working on through this 8-part series. We had Joe Smoke with 500, that has already all been done. Jill Smith, and we have Joe Smoke. Income so far is 7,200, and you'll see the project number, which is really important. You'll see the customer name. You'll see the income versus cost. Right now, we only have income. We don't have any cost yet. And this income is money we have actually received. It's not pending any invoices that this customer still owes us, okay? So right now, it'll show you a profit margin of 100% because we have no cost right now. And we don't really keep the time, and we have our start dates over here and our end date, and then any actions that you need to do. Edit the project, mark it's not started, mark it's completed, mark it's canceled, or delete the project. So you can do any of those. So when you're starting a project, what you want to do is come in. I'm going to use this Jill Smith as the next project. We can click New Project, and the project name. This is where we give the project number. We could say 2533 is the next project, and we're doing this for Jill Smith. And our start date is the 26th. Our end date, I always give it 30 days. Sometimes it takes a week or 2 weeks before a customer decides that they want to go with us on the project. And you could turn on the address for this project as well, but we'll just click Save here. And then once you save that project, you could go from right here and go to Estimates. And then you'll see it has a 2533, which is the new project number. Jill Smith, 2533. If you're doing expenses or another invoice for 2531, then you would click that project. But you will have your parent name, your customer name, then each project underneath that customer name. Okay? And while we're here, we'll just do a quick one. Estimate date 10/4. We'll move this to 11/4. Our service date, let's just do the 30th. Product, we're just going to do, this is a roof repair. Quantity 1, this is $1,000. The class is a roofing sales. The territory, say this job is in North Austin. And then you would review and send it to the client, but we'll just click Save and Close. Okay. So now we're still in our project, so we can go back to Overview. Let's see. Let's go back to where they show all of our projects. So now you can see we had 2530, the 5,000, 7,200 that I'm going to share with you. And then 2533, we only have an estimate. We don't have any income yet, meaning they haven't paid any money yet. Okay. So now if we go to our customer hub and we go to customers, we have our Joe Smoke that we're going to be working on. This Jill Smith, this 5,000 is for the job before. The 2530, I think, was the number on that job. But here is our estimate pending, and you can open that up. Okay. And then we can just say HD. We'll accept this job. On the 1st. And we just are going to record that. Okay. So now let's go back to the estimate. And then what we would do again is we would click out the drop-down box, convert to the invoice. On this one, we're just going to say that we're going to do 50%. So that'll be $500. And then we'll create our invoice here. Okay. Now we have our invoice, we have our 50%. We want to check to make sure it's the correct job, 2533. And now let's go to Manage. Save and leave. It's accepted there. So what we can do here is where it accepted the estimate, $500 is the invoice we just converted. Okay, the 1009. Now we would receive that payment and we're going to put a check. It's going to undeposited funds. The amount received is 500. The amount on the invoice is 500. So now we're just going to record and close. Okay. So now you see the payment against the 2533. You can see your estimate, you can see your invoice, and you can see your payment. Okay, so now we want to go back to our projects. I wanted to do this to show you exactly what shows in projects, okay? So for 2533, the income only shows that 500 and not the 1,000. What we're going to do today, we went over that in our last video. If you haven't watched that video, please go back to video number 5, and that will be on progressive invoicing. Now we're going to go to bank transactions because we're going to connect some expenses to jobs. Here we have Lowe's. So we can open this up, just click where it says uncategorize. QuickBooks is just trying to help you, but you actually have to categorize it yourself, okay? So now it says we don't have a Lowe's as a vendor or a customer, so let's add Lowe's. And it'll just populate everything you need, and that's all you need to do there. If you did want to put in all the addresses, then you could do that. Okay, Lowe's, this was material for the job. So we want to make sure it's a 5,000 number because that's our cost of goods. So we'll click that. Okay, and then our territory, let's say this was South Austin. Our class, we're going to create a new one. Let's put cost of goods. We can always look up a report by the class if we wanted to, okay? And then our customer here, we're going to look at our customers. We're going to find, for instance, on this one, this Jill Smith, 2533, and we're going to link it, this Lowe's bill, to that in the projects, okay? So now we're just gonna click add. Everything looks good. You could put a memo if you wanted to. I always go by bank detail as how to classify any transaction. We can click add. And we'll do one more so you can see what we have. For instance, the Sanders Market, say we got gas. So for a vendor, all the gas that we use, I just make a vendor account called fuel. So I don't have to put in every 7-Eleven, HEBs, all the different places you buy gas from, and I just save that. I always know fuel is fuel, okay? So fuel, doesn't look like we have an account for that, so let's add a new account. It will put fuel, gas on jobs. And then this is going to be account type. We're going to make this cost of goods. And it pops up cost of labor, but that's not it. So we're going to put other costs of services, okay? Then we want to make this a sub-account of this 5,000. So I see the number below 5001, 002, and 005. So I'm going to do 5006. So I can just give it an account number right here. I don't have to go back later and do that. So description, we're just going to put fuel for jobs. Because you could also have fuel just for office staff, but this fuel account is for jobs. We'll click save. So now we have fuel, gas on jobs. Now the customer, we'll go back to Jill, 2533. Don't ever use the billable because this will really get you confused because we don't bill customers based on their expenses. So our territory, South Austin, our class is going to be cost of goods. And then the vendor here is Sanders Market. We're just going to add. This is how you would start connecting expenses through the bank feed to the different jobs that we have. So now to see our end result, if we go back to projects, okay, so we look at Jill Smith, and now you can see the profit margin is 83%. Income was 500. We had those costs from the bank feed for 85.20. Then you could just click on it if you wanted to see further and see the transactions. You can see everything here. So that gives you an idea there. Go to overview. You can see profit margins, open invoices, overdue. You start seeing your cost of goods here. If you did put any other expenses in, you would add it here, or any bills into accounts payable. But we're going to keep it really beginner friendly. 500 income minus 85.20 cost equals 1440.80 profit. So if you took 1440.80 and divided it by 500, you'll get 83%. That's what I wanted to share with you today of how you do this. If you are enjoying this video and want to keep learning alongside others who are on your same journey, I've set up the free roofing and bookkeeping community. It's really simple. I've loaded it with my YouTube videos so you can binge the training all in one spot. Plus join on Thursday for our coffee hour, for Q&A, so we can connect live. The cool part is it's not just about me. It's a place where you can talk with other bookkeepers, ask questions, and share what's working for you. I'll pop in to guide the conversations, but the goal is for everyone to learn from each other. So it's a great community over there that I have just started. Just introduce yourself, and I have a couple fun questions for you to answer if you would like to. And I have actually answered that fun question for myself too. And you'll find out a little secret about me when you do that. Please be sure and look at all the free resources I have for you. Book a call with me if you would like to get started with your bookkeeping business or grow your existing bookkeeping business and get your QuickBooks accountant for free. Sign up your first QuickBooks Online account for a roofing company, and that is an affiliate link there. And then also the roofing, you can go to Roof for Profits, where there is a QuickBooks Online checklist. And so you can check off everything as you're setting up your first roofing company. But that's all I have for today, and I thank you so much for tuning in. And if you do find these videos helpful, I do my best to make them helpful where you can learn how to do bookkeeping. Then please subscribe and share with your friends, and then leave any comments that you have about bookkeeping or getting clients or working with roofing companies or working in the construction business or any of those things. And I'll be glad to answer those questions for you. Thank you so much and have a wonderful weekend.